So Dead Cells Castlevania DLC released with a ton of popular items. That could be Death Scythe, it could be Whip Sword, it could be Vampire Killer. But I know for a fact that Medusa's head probably didn't get a proper showcase, and I certainly didn't post one myself. So what I figured is that I owe not only you, the viewer, but also maybe the people who made the game, a fair showcase of what I would call a legitimate Medusa run. Of course, starting off the run, in the tubes we had both a Death Scythe and a regular Medusa. And I mean, I try to use it as much as I can. Those who don't know what Medusa does, you throw out the head, it will bounce into enemies and petrify them. The petrify is different than a regular stun or a snare. It is a completely new attribute. So once they're petrified, you get kind of an unknown bonus that they'll be launched further with a bump. So Medusa also has a secondary move where if you reactivate it, it will bump all enemies. Only issue is like the ammo. You only have one head Mega Mine. So when I get to this elite here, we'll be able to see I can bump every other monster around the elite, but the elite itself may be a little more difficult. I mean, a free petrify that lasts for the entire life of the monster, I'd say that's actually pretty good. Of course, that's in a biome. We'll see a little later down the line if this is gonna work in boss fights or not. Now, as we go into Arboretum, and I figured this was the best place to go because Toxic Sewers, a lot of the monsters are hidden. Promenade is Promenade. It's kind of a really hard map, but there's actually a lot of room to throw out Medusa's head, all throughout this entire segment. Now, what's really nice is that Medusa's explosion hits bats too. So you can kind of almost lob it like a grenade, and then you just press Y or triangle, whatever controller you have, to sort of detonate it. And I want to say that actually does a good job hitting the bats. The other thing you'll see, there is an icon over the monster's head. That is networking, which got buffed in the latest update. It now works on all ranged attacks, not just putting an arrow into an enemy, and then the enemies still share the damage. So as you see, I got multiple enemies marked with networking just then. And the lightning bolt that you see that goes in between the different enemies, that's them sharing damage. Even off color, I do it sometimes because I think the starting number's 30% damage share, which I think is pretty good for just 1 point of tactics. And of course, I'm playing survival right now. I don't know if the fall damage is counting for my networking. Also a huge fan of rebound, being able to just throw it into a room and then keep it going. Funny enough, those who don't know, Wings of the Crow buffs your attack by adding lightning to it. So what I was doing there was throwing lightning down the hallway. So we have to be careful about fast monsters like the Rampager. Medusa's head, kind of slow to throw out. If you throw it before the monsters even aggro you, you know you're fine. But if a Rampager, for example, is coming at you, it's kind of a death sentence. But this right here is perfect case scenario. Multiple monsters lined up. All you have to do is petrify the room and then hit Y to kind of bump them. And then they probably all die. It's pretty good if you ask me. But for the most part, even just marking a couple of monsters to add the networking, almost better off doing that and then killing it with rebound than trying to just spam Medusa heads over and over again. And then I think if we bring in a survival mutation such as necromancy, that will cover up the gap for all the damage we've been taking. Of course, we're next going into Prison Depths. This map, I think, is probably better than going Corrupted Prison with Medusa's head. Reason why is that Corrupted Prison has the crab. We've learned that the Medusa's head will be blocked and actually disintegrate if it hits a crab or a shield. This cursed chest, I think we're gonna take it kind of easy. This is almost world first content right here. Like, I don't know how Medusa's head will perform. So any bat, any knife thrower, any spinny thing like this, I'm taking my sweet time to figure out what I need to do to kill it. I'd say one Medusa's head did about half, but then I did have to do a parry to kill the rest of it. One big tip When playing Dead Cells in general, a lot of monsters have aggro ranges to them, and a lot of monsters will only aggro things that are directly in front of them. So it's kind of a smart decision to wait until they are turned around, then you jump down, then you have sort of like an attack of opportunity. Of course, these two together, not the safest thing. You could try to do a parry, but you run the risk of the Lacerator monster aggroing you while you're parrying the Knife Thrower. But a couple skills takes good work of that. Get a couple bats, which are free kills too. Of course, I straight up missed the bat, so now we're in trouble. I think I had to do an emergency parry just to get myself out of that. But now that that's done, funny enough, the Thunder Shield's lightning is activating networking. So one parry will kill bats with just a lightning shock, but as I'm moving around, the shock is linking monsters together, which I had no idea it does that. Next platform though, I am also getting locked up, which is a little scary. Funny enough, the shield bearer just straight up negates Medusa. We're hitting monsters through the platform. Even Medusa's explosion does that. So bats, maybe worms, maybe inquisitors. Kind of cool to be able to sort of kill them without having to aggro them. And as you see, Medusa's explosion takes care of the bats that are underneath me. Of course, this is transforming. And we aggroed an elite slasher too. So the slasher has a star on it. That means it's probably going to drop a legendary item. Let's just see if it's anything that we can actually use. Whenever I do these showcases, there's a Spartan Sandal, I try not to use a legendary that crowds out the run. My whole point is a showcase of the weapon itself. If I were to use a legendary that steals the show, then I may as well call it Legendary Showcase. Next mutation here, it's a little hard to decide what we can choose. Tranquility would hit stuff at far range, which might be okay. But I'm just going to take the No Mercy here, where the hope is that we can just kill monsters. I have no worry about distance. Early bank, little dangerous. If you want to test out the full capability of a weapon, I think the bank is probably one of the best places to try that out. Before first boss, little tough, because you maybe don't have a fully cemented build yet. After first boss might be a little better. What you're also seeing, I should mention, I am playing chat integrated Dead Cells on the Twitch stream. We have a vote every time we go into a new area. So what you're going to see is more Inquisitors than you have ever seen in your life. Really early curse, so this is actually pretty good for us. If you're going to go through the bank, then you may as well get the curse right away. If you don't get the curse, you're going to be down a scroll. And the monsters are already beefed up anyway. So it would make sense to fight them at your highest strength possible. And just like with anything else, just if you take your time with it, one monster per Medusa, then chance of failure is a little less. So even these double Inquisitors here, I can do the parries. That's a very dangerous way to go through that. But if we at least wait for one Inquisitor and not try to do multi-parries or something like that, then I feel like we'd be in good shape. Rebound Stone also kind of scary. It almost looks like it's an enemy projectile when it's coming at you. Oh no. Got the bounce. Okay. It almost feels as though the Medusa wants multiple monsters around it in order to do networking and then get extra damage when everyone's pushed around. Which, I mean, if that's why this is working... Yo, was it dabbing? I'd say that's probably pretty good. I couldn't dodge that. Unlucky. I think I parried the punch, but then got hit by the other part. I'm a little low on money, and to be fair, my malaise is a little high right now, so it makes sense to try to clean out as much as I can. This area right here, kinda deadly. For some reason, this formation in the map has probably like 8 bats in it, at least 1 gold gorger, and a bunch of monsters just camping in the hallway. And Inquisitor, because, you know, chat voted for that. But I have died in this exact room multiple times when playing Dead Cells. I don't know if you all are in the same boat as me, but I like to try to take that spot a little more careful. Luckily, throwing one Medusa in the hallway takes care of most of the stuff. But in all honesty, still pretty tough. So now we're going into Mama Tick. Very good for our Thunder Shield. Honestly, taking any lightning into this fight is pretty good for you, but taking Medusa in, I have no idea if that's good or not. We do have some good skills. We have a turret. We have a giant whistle. Medusa itself probably does 1% of the boss's HP. That is absolutely nothing. So right now our goal is maybe to think of the Medusa as a stall tactic. And then every time we get in a parry, then we can throw Medusa after and then hope that the turret plus the shields are doing work. The button. So like I should be able to parry this way. See? But if I turn around and do the parry, it's not gonna work. I do see the petrify icon. All right, we're doing negative damage. So if I parry this way now, unlucky. If I parry this way now, see, now it works because she's spawning on the right. Five things I wish I knew. I'm gonna die. Maybe I should have done a prediction. This is bullcrap. You can also like hold the button like this. But I didn't want to do that. I feel like I was better off just fighting normally. Sometimes it's just not fun holding down Y button. I know, V, but what if you die? I did not worry about dying. Dying just means that we can go play Street Fighter faster. Yeah, so I feel like I've been getting like pretty decent at these kind of action games, action roguelikes. I want to hope that Street Fighter is adjacent to action game. I don't know if I've ever heard the music here. Okay, pretty much a straight shot to the monsters. Break all these. Want to make sure nothing happens. Medusa's looking pretty good. Yeah, Nero. I'm kind of in agreement. I don't know where it goes on the tier list yet. Ooh. Throw Medusa and then Poyo power whatever we're fighting for free. Versus Timekeeper. Legit strat. High A weapon right here. I won't give it a rating yet. I'm gonna leave that to you all to decide. Good job. I see you. Anything easy? There we go. That's what we like to see. All right, here's our test. Oh, you! Unbelievable. That would have been perfect. All right, streamer room. I don't go Fractured Shrines very often because of what we call streamer room right here. This is 3 free legendaries. I believe it's full RNG. I think even if you have custom mode turned on and lock items out, then it might still show up with random stuff. But I don't usually go here because I, again, feel like it would crowd out the showcase. But my hope is that the Lacerating Aura would maybe do the same thing that we felt about that Poyo power. The whole point is that you're throwing Medusa and then you're letting the Lacerator do all the work. And again, we don't want the Medusa to be a full-on secondary skill, but at least there's like synergy there. We want to know the purpose is to petrify stuff, and then we'll let it burn out after. Ooh, doubles? Never mind. Wow, the networking killed the one up top. I feel like Clock Tower might be not the best map for Medusa head. Reason why we're here is that we really want to go Dracula. Again, I want to see the full capability of this weapon. I don't want to just cheese it and go to something easy. But Clock Tower has a lot of tight rooms, small hallways. A room like this isn't too bad because at least we have some ledges that we can throw the Medusa on. But anything less than that is definitely not helping Medusa out. Some of the monsters here are some of the worst monsters in the game. So this cannibal thing, having a long-range crowd control, just basically throwing the head down the hallway, means I don't have to deal with the cannibal. And that in itself is probably worthy of at least a tier point, if you ask me. Of course, I'm not gonna say what I think the rating of this is. That's for you all to figure out once we're done. Thinking about monster by monster, what actually is helping out, I want to say Medusa is helping out here. We were able to find a Mushroom Boy. As I said, Medusa's head is supposed to make monsters take bonus knockback. So my hope is that there's a little synergy here between Mushroom Boy and Medusa. And we're almost turning into a full knockback set. I think the last thing missing would be Wave of Denial, which I wonder if that would actually do good damage. I don't know how it scales off tactics if it's doing fall damage to a monster. Can we get Fs in the chat for Mushroom Boy, please? Wait, there were 2 Medusas just then. Am I tripping? Did anyone else see 2 Medusas that were on like rotation? All right, Timekeeper. So this is the boss that you have to fight to get into Dracula. And to be fair, I kind of like some other routes to access Dracula. We don't have any just yet. But I think this would be a good way to give some incentive to go to other bosses like Scarecrow. Okay. Thank you, Mushroom Boy. So I saw the lighting change and I had no idea why. This is interesting. Crap. It's like by the time I'm ready for it, I don't get the reaction. No parry? Megamind, no parry? I had to spam there a little bit. So, like, I went between the bullets, which is fine, but then I didn't think she would charge at me like that. Yo, GG's! That was a sick fight. Good job, Salted. That was really tough. So now the final biome that we have to go through, Dracula's Castle. This is a little bit of a tough map because some of the monsters are extremely evil. Like this thing, if you don't have something long range to stop the roll, then you end up taking just an enormous amount of damage. Like absolutely gigantic. Now, unfortunately, I do have to say that with chat integration turned on, viewers voted for bats to be added to the biome. And for some reason in Dracula's Castle, it replaced almost all the monsters with bats. And yeah, that could be an issue if I had a melee build, for example. But this networking Medusa seems to be okay with that. So I don't have a ton of footage to share for Dracula's Castle because it was a little bit of a breeze. Don't look at my HP bar, by the way. What does matter, though, is fighting against the real Medusa, which is right here. And this thing, I don't even know if it can be petrified. Though I think in the deep lore, that's how you kill Medusa, right? Is by doing a petrify on it? You actually canceled that. Hello? Wait, is this busted? Oh no! I shouldn't have done anything. Crap! I should have trusted the mushroom boy. That's the homie. You dare use my old spell against me? I got freaking snapped. Thanos snapped. This is world premiere Dracula Castle Twitch integration mode. I don't know if this has ever been seen before. Could be untested. When the DLC came out, we made it a point to save this kind of stuff for later, because we had to do showcases and whatnot. But I have a strong feeling that you all have essentially deleted half the monsters off the map and have turned all the monsters into bats. Which, I don't know how I feel about that. Dang. I just don't want to play anything but the Medusa. Like, if this is a struggle fight, I think we should let it be a struggle fight. 12,000 bucks. We gotta reset. All right, so we know for a fact that nothing I had is gonna work in here. I feel like there's nothing here, like, at all. I am almost of the right mind of doing point blank tranquility. Dracula's gonna win for sure. Like I said, this is never before seen gameplay. I don't think I've ever done a pure Medusa fight. The closest thing we did was the pet fight where the cat killed. Antagonist, Tolsan. Crap. Rip no hit. Oh, wow. That's my first time getting hit by that in a long time. So good job. Can you get in the fire, please? Oh, I shouldn't have tried that. All right. Not the fastest that we've ever seen. Sick dodge. Get outplayed. Okay, I'm gonna say that he cannot be petrified. Are we in agreement with that? Oh my god, I got hit in the cutscene. Oh wow, I can't heal myself. Alright, Master Q, if you want to heal me, now's the time to do so. Holy crap, my eyes. Alright, surely Medusa pops off here. My chicken. Final form. He did catch on fire. Resist. There we go. I couldn't tell which way I'm supposed to parry. Oh my god, I got hit by that again? I can barely see it. This way maybe? No? What if I told you parrying is like not all that good right here? It's not worth the game. Like the guessing game, that is. I'm not in agreement that I was supposed to be hit by that. Oh my god, I parried way too early. All right, this is gonna be a struggle. Okay, so we're basically playing Dracula on ultra hard mode, taking Medusa in here. We did have continue mode turned on, so I gave the viewers a little bit of an opportunity to really see this thing in action on the boss. I didn't want to just outright stop the showcase. So I would say not the best use of weaponry coming into this fight. If I were to give you all any words of advice, it's do not take Medusa into here. But we try our best. As I say, my whole goal is to make sure that we see everything we need to see for these items. Even basic Dracula, so level 1 Dracula, we get in a couple of hits here, but I don't think he gets petrified. So what's Medusa doing really? Maybe spreading oil? Maybe if I had a Medusa that has poison on hit, we can get in a couple of poison stacks. Maybe if I had kill rhythm for some reason, then I could be able to, you know, throw Medusa, then swing with my giant killer. But as far as I know, right now, I have no real reason to take Medusa into this fight, except to show you, who's watching on YouTube, to not do it. Even regular Dracula here, because he jumps around so much, at least phase 2 we know is an issue because he's flying. Phase 1, however, I can barely land these Medusas because he just teleports behind me. All right, round 3. We don't lose 3 of these in a row. My problem is I'm always trying to do damage because this takes so long. Oh, why didn't I get the invincibility there? I got earlier. The timing on that parry is really odd. Okay. These meteors only happen in 5DC. Sick bats, by the way. I don't think you can parry these. Ooh, we interrupted the command grab. I didn't even know that was an option. Not worth it. Thank you for the bombs. Oh, my grenade! I had to get the iframes there. Nothing else I could do. Like, why doesn't he just do that? Instead of all this other crap. Thank you for the bombs. Gonna give me an unblockable setup with the bats? Of course you are. Okay, to be fair, if I had no mercy, he would have been dead like 10 minutes ago because I was stuck in that last segment for so long and just couldn't hit him, ever. So yeah, that was really hard. Don't do Dracula if you're rocking this thing. You kind of have to do, I assume, Servant's Queen. Hand the King blocks Medusa. And then Spoiler is probably okay versus Spoiler, but I don't think you can get past Hand the King with Medusa-chan. That was sick, though. Let's actually do a rating on Medusa, because I know it wasn't exactly a showcase, but that was not what I expected to happen there. So let us see what you all can come up with in a poll. Basically, rate everything before Dracula showed up. S, A, B, C, D. It actually, I made it a lot farther than I thought I would. I was going to swap over to Throwing Axe, but then Medusa kind of felt good. So I felt as though I shouldn't really swap off of it.